So really this time. Without further ado, let's present the cast of Scandal. Here is Portia de Rossi. Really? Come on in. Darby Stanchfield. Jeff Perry. Bellamy Young. Mr. President, Tony Goldwyn.
Hello.
Hi, darling. Hi. Do you have your... Oh, Kerry Washington. Looking gorgeous.
You too.
Scott Foley.
Not James
You're
Bond.
welcome. Guillermo Diaz.
Oh, yeah. You won't.
Josh Molina.
Yeah, that's
Oh, no.
Oh.
Really? And a man I'm so excited to meet, Mr. Joe Morton. So I don't know if you could hear me bragging about you or complimenting you, because I know on Good Morning America, chemistry is everything, and you guys have it in spades. How much fun is it all for you to hit that table and get started with the table reads?
No.
Josh, how fun is it?
It's a 3.
It's a 3 out of 10?
But for me, almost all of life is a 3 in a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
So.
6:41. We're under 2.5 hours away. So
From the end of the panel?
no,
Oh.
no, that's 5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
No, so here we go. The big finale. You guys have been here before. Where does this one rank on the OMG scale?
3.
Don't you lie, Josh. No, it's 12. It's 12. No, it's really good.
Is it off the charts?
It's really good. It's really good because how many lives, a number of your regular friends' lives change.
What are you saying?
Change like completely. A number of these regulars that you're looking at, their characters' lives change by the end of the episode.
Their livelihoods change.
Their livelihoods change.
Ooh. That's a
That's
spoiler.
too far now.
We
Put
keep
those-
reading and hearing tidbits that you are. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're always impacted, but that it's
You talking to me?
no, Carrie.
Tony.
That this finale is really does a number on
Well,
you.
To be completely honest, the script was unbelievably shocking, and then we all recently found out that there were things that happened in the edit that are going to shock us.
Yeah.
So we're sort of in your shoes.
And
Yeah,
I
we
think
don't
there was
know
material that
how
was
it
shot. That,
I love your voice. Is that okay to say? Did I say it out loud?
You did say that out loud, yes.
How much fun is it for you to play Command?
It's commanding. No, I mean, this entire sort of experience with this show has been nothing but a gift, a giant meal. I get to sit down and have dinner with any number of people at any number of different times, and it's just amazing. It's amazing.
And Bellamy, finally, you got your wish. I know that you were hoping to get a scene with Command, with Joe, and we've only gotten a glimpse of it, but boy, did that get Twitter going.
It was sure fun to shoot.
It was.
I mean, Joe and I worked together 100 years ago. He doesn't remember, it was an X-Files episode. I had a tiny part. He was the lead. And
The very first day I walked on, she said, we work together. And I said, yeah, I guess.
He was like, but I've been dying because it's such, to watch those monologues come out of the screen. I was like, I want to see it coming. I want my eyebrows to be burned off, I want it to come in my face. So it was a joy.
Hey.
But I feel like that. Should have gone to Huck for that. But there's so many people that I never get to work with, really. So, we all kind of hope for a little cross-pollination now and again.
And can I say that scene, because I was a fly on the wall in that room, in the scene, figuratively speaking, I was in that scene. What was going down between them, and it was amazing. It's just like, it took my breath away. It was brilliant.
For sure, your character has really has grown and changed, and I was saying
And
on the
it
way in,
continues.
I have
Like your
I
hair.
have my thoughts about you. I think bad
Like my
things.
hair.
I think I personally, my conspiracy theory is that Lizzie not so good.
Tell us more.
saying?
Tell us more, Lara.
I don't know. I just I don't know. I must be great fun for you because you play her so beautifully and it's so layered, and you really have.
That's thanks to Shonda, because when I started this show at the start of the season, I thought, okay, I understand this woman. She's ruthless, she's ambitious, she is fairly, I had it kind of figured out. And then Shonda just kind of threw a wrench in it all. And it was so interesting for me because I thought, okay, this actually is more realistic. And the fact that I didn't know as an actress if I was good or bad, or if I was playing the long con or the kind of the big game, or if I actually was just grateful to survive in the White House and grateful to have my place there.
To survive Shonda, survive another
and
episode.
then that.
Yes.
So yeah, it was so interesting, and I thought, well, that's really realistic because, you know, I mean, she was an outsider. She's now in the White House. I'm sure she is kind of just dealing with how to get by and figuring out her next move.
Yeah, and I know you said when you were on GMA you were so grateful for this part. It's been
Well, that was then.
yeah.
Oh, believe me, I was such a huge fan of the show, like a geeky fan to the point where
Like-
the first few, oh yeah. I mean, can you imagine like doing a scene with any of these people
No.
and not go, oh my God, it's Mellie Grant and she's talking to me. Like that's how I was. And Cyrus, oh my God, it was just ridiculous and so exciting. And so yeah, I'm very grateful.
In the last episode, the scene between Jake and Russell was really tremendous. Having the beer, imitating command. I'd love to know what that was like behind the scenes. Did you get tutorial from Joe on how to have the cadence?
I love
Can
it.
I say something?
I loved it so much.
These two actors got that scene hours before they had to perform it. I was in the room when that email came out of rewrites for that scene. It was very late at night, and we were shooting something else, and they had to do it first thing in the morning, and somehow, these two men metabolized that scene and made it so brilliant within hours.
And I got to be in the room with Joe Morton when he watched that scene because we'd never
Because
seen
we'd
that
never,
scene.
we'd
Because we
never
didn't get those
seen it.
rewrites.
That was not on our
And he
table.
was
We
like,
were all tweeting.
We had no idea that such a scene was
Yeah,
coming if
I
we
know.
were
Like, oh my God.
shooting that day.
So you had nothing to do behind the scenes with
Not at all. I was like, it was like being a voyeur on two of my kids. Sort of making fun of Dad. I mean, it was great, and it was a complete surprise.
Scott, how was that for you, knowing that Joe would be watching you recreate that remarkable cadence he has?
You know, I never even thought about Joe watching that scene.
Probably best not to.
Yeah, I didn't. We got the, as Carrie said, we got the scene. So I was actually in bed the night before when I got the scene, and we started shooting it at like 7 in the morning, and I spent so much time. I spent so much time working on just getting the lines right that I didn't have time to put anything else behind it. And I realized once I got to set that I really had to do a Joe Morton impression, and that's a big undertaking. You know, there's his.
The interesting thing is, in the last week or so, any number of people have come up and done impressions of me.
Oh, based
These
on
two
that.
guys
Started
nailed
a
it.
movement.
They nailed it. You and Russell nailed it. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, we had a. It's a lot of fun. Doing a scene like that is a lot of fun, especially when you get it last minute and you don't have. Usually, I like to have the chance to sink my teeth into it and think it through, and without having that ability and just sort of trusting yourself and saying the words and hoping it comes out all right. We had a lot of fun, and I have to give credit to Brian White, who plays Russell.
Oh, yeah, he's
He
great.
sat there. That poor guy.
And we want to thank Brian White, too.
Trust me.
Women everywhere
With
want to
his
say
shirt
Brian
off,
White.
tied up, blood all over him, a gag in his mouth. That a girl. Reminiscent of what I sounded like when I walked on the set. I was, and I still haven't seen it. I didn't get to watch last week's episode, but I'm
it's
so
really
glad. Thank you for saying that.
Oh, Oh, you haven't seen you
I
yet?
haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you were really good. That scene was great.
You should.
How'd I do with the Joe Morton bit? Was it good?
No, great, really great.
Carrie, do you think, is Olivia so mad at herself that she completely misread Russell?
Well, I think that.
I mean, I was like, oh, it's still the PTSD from the cage.
Yeah, I think it's partly that, and I think it's partly that she comes from a slightly unhealthy relationship with the first man in her life.
Yeah.
And it has, yeah. And it has really skewed her ability to know what healthy relationships with men look like. No offense, no offense.
At this point,
Taking a picture of y'all. Go ahead.
Darby?
Yes.
Here, present.
Well, Abby and David, is there a chance?
Josh Molina and I'm going to tell you a little story. Josh Molina and I were shooting on the first day of season 4 of this season. And I said, so, what do you think, Molina? Do you think, how long is it going to take for David and Abby to get back? And he was like, 2 episodes tops.
Nope.
Wrong.
I was wrong.
You were wrong.
What do you-
Which rarely happens, by the way. He's never wrong.
What does David think of Leo?
David or Josh? I'm a big Leo fan. Josh. David, not so much.
Jealous?
Clearly, he's jealous. He's carrying a torch,
He is.
I think.
How could you
all
not?
hope
How
so.
could you
How could you
not?
not?
Yeah. How do you miss? You still wear the white hat, of course, but are you almost more useful, your character in the White House, to the gladiators?
You know, it seems like Abby has been useful this year in the White House. Because whether Olivia doesn't want to go into the White House or she doesn't want to talk to the president or she's been kidnapped and is on the auction block, Abby sort of seemed to come up with the goods.
Yes.
So it's been kind of fun to wear a little bit of a bigger white hat this year.
Yeah, I dare say you have.
Yeah.
Cyrus has not been very easy on you.
No,
All
he's
season.
the worst boss. He only calls me Red.
I know.
Yeah, for a while it was
Although it's
Gabby
better
and
than
Red.
Gabby. It's better than
Yes.
Gabby.
That was funny,
Yes.
though. That was very subtle
Yeah.
and well done.
Yeah.
How has that been to play your role this season? You seem incredibly disgruntled. Have you had it in Washington?
And what was it like to wear those purple tuxedos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I was looking back at some stuff for the whole season and thinking of the whole Michael story and going from, wow, oh, this guy's flirting with me. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, he's a prostitute. Okay, see you later. And really? Oh, you think it'd be okay? Oh.
Oh, now I'm married
Oh,
to
well,
him.
let's try it. And, and then he's selling secrets. And then, oh, I'll have to kill him. And then all of the stuff with Darby, with Abby, I've loved it. I mean, I know I'm a PRIC, you know what, of a boss. For Jeff and Darby, it's been a blast to do this much together. We've really had fun.
Yeah, and had a lot of cups of coffee together
Yeah.
on set. Yeah.
Bellamy, we didn't get a chance to talk this morning when you were on the show, but I was dying to dig a little deeper. I'm sure you guys are too. It's almost troubling how well you're getting along with the president at the moment.
Probably. Let us enjoy the moment. It's been great. It's been great fun to just not be at odds on set. It's been a joy to just kind of be easy with each other. Fitz and Mellie were always good partners. It's a love thing they don't necessarily excel at.
There's a lot of kind of loves.
A lot of kind of love, right? Exactly. And so it's been nice to really be in sync on some of these issues. Yeah, I've loved it. What about you, T?
Yeah, what about you, T?
That's right.
Yeah.
I said 3. No, yeah, it's been great. I love what Shonda's done with our relationship, you know, because we had been so at each other and it had been so negative. And to explore, like Carrie said, a different kind of love, but one that's very real and complicated And
I just feel like there must be some ulterior motive. I mean, there's.
just wait, you know, the show will, the plot will thicken.
So negative.
I'm very
No spoilers.
I
No
know.
spoilers.
I seem like the sunny one, right?
You're dark. You're dark.
I like it.
You're dark, Lara.
I like
It's
it.
amazing what a fan you are of the show. You can tell.
From the beginning.
Yeah, no, you've been great.
Yeah, episode 1. I'm very boring. You know, we go to bed very early, so Thursday nights it's really become such a treat, and I think everybody else agrees. And you guys are just all really good at your jobs, so you make it very fun. Carrie, what do you hope? I know you guys, according to Bellamy, who I'm trusting, that you guys really don't know very much in advance. So, are you emotionally on team? Forget Russell, even though the bod was incredible. Are you on Team Fitz or Team Jake right now? Because the man almost died, and
Should we poll?
Getting
Should we
to you
take a poll
next.
first?
Answer that question.
I love it.
How many want Team Jake?
There you are.
And Team
okay.
Fitz.
Uh-oh.
Team Fitz.
Fewer but louder.
That was only 3 hands up.
Well, then,
Small but mighty.
I love you for it. No.
Carrie, what do you hope?
I have often said that the team I'm on is Team Shonda.
Yeah.
Such a good
Because
That was a different.
whatever she
Dodgy,
writes, I'm
dodgy
there
question.
for. But I will say one of my favorite moments for this season is when Olivia said to Jake, "I choose me," and I feel like this season has been a lot about being on Team Olivia.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she can make a choice about who her partner is until she works some stuff out.
She's certainly not been very nice to me.
Oh.
No, but do you
Thank God Mellie's been nice to me. 'Cause my girlfriend has been a problem child.
Oh, my mistress is so bad to me.
It's like the reverse of the cliche, you know, you don't really complain to your mistress about your wife. It's the opposite.
You're complaining to
She's
your
like,
wife.
you should go back to Olivia. You love her.
Start
You should
that
go to
war,
war
baby.
for her.
Start that war.
Okay, honey, I will. And I did it. She yelled at me about it.
How Shonda?
Do you guys like the idea of Mellie becoming the junior senator from Virginia?
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, good. All right.
No, Cyrus. Shonda makes Cyrus's viewpoint was, he's so angry,
Well, he's
so
jealous.
jealous.
Yeah.
How good was that scene
You know
between
he's
Jack and
so
Kate Burton?
jealous.
When he went on Kate Burton's show, that scene, oh
yeah.
my God, that
That's-
scene.
Yeah, zoom in there on Cyrus. I believe you should be in the senatorial.
So good.
And it's kind of, kind of perfect. But then within what? A half an episode, another episode? I'm kind of proud that we're getting you elected.
I know.
I mean, I
because
love
it
that
serves
about
you ultimately.
Shonda because she figures out how to authentically play both sides in the middle. You know,
Yeah.
Within hours.
She's also not afraid to tackle real life subjects for which you guys have won a Peabody Award. Congratulations. Well deserved. And the shows have done such a beautiful job in stopping and making you really think and have a conversation. How has that been for you guys as actors?
I mean,
Good.
it's amazing.
Well, I mean, it's tough. You want to get it
No,
right.
listen. I
Yeah,
think this season had tonality range that was really amazing. What we might call the Ferguson, Missouri episode.
Yeah, what was that episode
and
called?
about
It was
rape
with
in the
chair.
military.
The lawn
Lawn
chair.
chair.
The lawn chair.
But all the
was
way
incredible.
to stuff with Artemis, who plays Susan Ross, you know,
Yeah.
you could pull it out of a Preston Sturges movie, some of these
Yeah,
things.
that's true.
You know, it's
Yeah.
almost like screwball comedy.
Yeah.
So the range that Shonda and the writers have
Yeah.
explored this year is really nuts.
But also in terms of the
I cut you off.
No,
You were
it's
about
just
to say-
so
I'm sorry,
it's
baby.
it's just so great, and I'm sure all of us feel a lot of pride to be a part of a show that's folded all of these huge social issues into the fabric of our characters, and to make it, I don't know, more. I mean, this is all stuff that we're talking about, and being in the positions that we're in, including the president, of course, these are issues that naturally fold into our storyline. So, I mean, she just did it so beautifully with just
Yeah, and
such
it's so
grace.
subversive sometimes. I mean, I've said this before on a panel, but I was just talking about it today with someone who brought it up in an elevator. But this idea that it was right at the time where we were struggling to get the media to pay attention to hundreds of black girls who had been ripped from their homes in Nigeria. And it was hashtag bring back our girls and begging the media to pay attention to these hundreds of little black girls. And on our show, for all intents and purposes, a black girl got ripped from her home and a president went to war to bring her back. And kind of the idea that the life of this black woman was valuable enough that she had become like a Helen of Troy was such a subversive way of saying we all have value as human beings. And I
You
just
still yelled at me when you
it's
came
true.
back.
I, Carrie, was proud to be part of that. Olivia, not so pleased. So I think I'm just really proud to be part of a show that, like you said, Portia, is about the real worth of all humanity and kind of acknowledging all of the ways that we express our humanity.
Yeah. I was texting Shonda of thanks and oh man.
You have her phone number?
Hilarious.
That scene with Matthew. The scene with Michael in the map room, and we're signing the Declaration of Marriage, right? And saying, "Wow, God, it was. I loved how the scene turned out. Thank you, Sean." Da, da, da. And I think, she wrote back, "Yeah, and Jeff, right in the same week that Indiana is passing legislation making it harder for people to be who they are." Now that's her politics. You can agree or disagree, but the synergy.
But you should agree.
But you should.
It's the only decent way to think, but the synergy of how she's writing and what's happening in the world, pretty great.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah, my favorite moment for Abby during the Leo Abby storyline was a moment that was good. Yes, where Shonda wrote the speech about the double standards of women.
My favorite scene.
Digested, right?
Yeah.
Also a brilliant scene that was given to the actor hours
Moments, yeah.
before.
Yeah.
True. Yes, I got it like 10 o'clock at night, and we were there at 6 in the morning, and I was like, how am I going to learn this?
So what do you do in that case? Because she does take it to the limit, and for all the right reasons, but what's your methodology? What do you do when you
She
get...
writes so well. You can read it and almost go, like your body soaks it in.
It's
just
written so well that it's easier
beautiful.
to memorize than things that are not written well.
Yeah.
It's like
Because
music,
it feels
it's like
authentic?
poetry, and there's a rhythm to it.
Yeah.
I think the rhythm makes you, if you just trust the rhythm, well, you don't even have to trust it. It's
But
just there.
there is a methodology in the phrases as well as
Yes.
the rhythm.
The
The breathing.
The way one phrase might end might help you begin the next phrase. So there are real wonderful writers' tricks in
Alliteration,
monologue.
a lot of alliteration,
But
a lot of
they're
threes.
so well written and they're so well layered
Yeah, a lot of threes.
that not only do you learn the words rapidly, but then it's easier for you to then
Yes.
add your own personal layers to what's going on in terms of the scene. So you don't just feel like, oh, I've learned the words and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And you'll get it handed to you, and it will be an absolute revelation to you, to your marrow, but also make absolute sense. It's unbelievable, her gift. And we've all had the weird feeling of like, does Shonda spy on me? Like she knows things about you. She just we always joke that she like goes to sleep and goes to some other place where all things are just she knows it all, and then she brings some things back and she writes them down.
Guillermo
But
and
yeah,
Bellamy and
we
I
have this
had
eerie like
and Tony and I had this talk when right around the time we were shooting the episode about Huck's what's it called 450
752.
752
Oh, yeah.
459 451 and a half.
Did you watch the show?
But we were at this little point of actor, artist evolution with Shonda's writing, and it hit us all at the same time of, you guys, every actor creates private, secret, only them backstory.
Except for Josh.
Yeah.
That's right. Not
and
Josh, not for me.
and there was at this moment we said, Have you guys had the experience where Shonda, she has now written your private backstory?
Oh, no.
You know? And we all said, yes! Isn't that creepy?
So, if I may, who would you all say, and just please jump in, who is most like their character, would you say, about each other?
Josh.
Oh, wow.
Josh.
Josh Molina.
I've never succeeded at anything. But it hasn't held me back. Like,
Failed upwards his entire life.
also
He
exact
has.
same height and weight.
So is everybody?
I would say Carrie. I would say Carrie.
Yeah.
Really?
She's a leader and strong.
In her
smart,
leadership,
and-
yeah, that's
Smart.
for sure.
But I,
In my professional
Yeah,
life,
that's
I'm
right.
like
Not
Olivia.
in-
Not in my personal life.
What
In the boardroom, not the bedroom.
what would you share with us that is the most different about Carrie and Olivia? What would surprise you?
Carrie really appreciates a good therapist.
And Olivia could use one.
I work on my stuff so that I can have healthy
Yeah,
relationships.
why won't she's so smart and takes care of everybody else? Why won't she go to a therapist?
Made for bad
First of
TV.
all, who would watch that show? Although that was sort of The Sopranos, but I think it's about privacy. I think it's about letting people know that she needs help, which is not something that she's comfortable with. I think it's about admitting the level of help that she would need. Like, that's something that you would tell a client to do, not something that you would do for yourself. I should be able to fix it.
Yes.
That was Olivia speaking.
Favorite scene, episode, starting with Joe.
oh my gosh.
So many.
Yeah,
That question is really hard.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, because
okay.
Go to the next one.
Try.
No, I'm kidding.
there's just so many things that happen on the show, and also I guess to be a little truthful, I think what happens to all of us is that the episodes begin to sort of meld
Run together.
together.
Yeah.
So it's more a feeling of what the show is in general. There are moments you might pick out. I don't know that I could tell you what favorite. I have personal favorites that I've done with either Tony.
Is there a
or-
scene? Is there a scene that you just are like, oh, I felt so good, or I nailed it, or that was fun?
Joe feels that way
every
20
time-
times a day.
Exactly. It's like, is there any other way to feel?
Yes, the other way. No, I think the one that we.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, Tony and I talked about the boys' speech. I think.
Great.
How is it when Tony's directing?
I'll let Carrie answer this question.
Start with Carrie.
Carrie teases him mercilessly.
Come
She
on.
loves him.
My mom was visiting once when Tony was visiting, and she got so angry with me. She was like, "Why do you treat him like that? You're terrible."
Is it a brother-sister relationship? What is the nature of it?
Yeah, like in Game of Thrones, brother.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Are you guys more relaxed when Tony's directing, or does it make you nervous?
Yes.
because-
Yeah,
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah,
Because
more- I'm
he
more
knows the
relaxed.
show.
We trust him.
He knows the
Completely.
show, and
Yeah.
he's
He's talented.
he's a really good director.
Yeah.
What's she saying?
Yeah, it's nice to whenever somebody comes to direct who really knows the show and loves the show, it makes such a difference for us because we love our show and we love working with each other, and so it's having one of our own direct is just great.
You know something I always love, and it's kind of like I know I don't have this ability at all. And Tony and I will be in what feels like a difficult scene for both sides. And he just acted, as far as I can tell. And that the director hat is over here.
What I'm really doing is judging you.
Yeah, but he's in tremendously helpful judgment mode, which is called directing. Because we'll come out of it and invariably he's able to help me communicate better and simplify. And basically just say, I'm understanding this from here to here. This is really clear. This is really clear. And this is just sort of fuzzy. I'm just not hearing it. I'm not receiving it really well. So just fix that little part. And it's so great.
It's really fun to slide over seats, you know, because it's a very different relationship, you know, and a very kind of intimate one. So we're also intimate as friends and fellow actors. So it's a very unique kind of privilege for me, being so close to everybody and having a very distinctive relationship with each one of them, just as fellow actors, to then shift over a little bit and, you know, like get inside their process as a director, where it's quite different, and it's kind of, it's intimate is the best way to describe it. You know, like to be working with Joe, for example, in the relationship that Rowan and Fitz have, and Joe and I have known each other for a really long time and have worked together before, but, you know, our relationship on Scandal is defined in this very adversarial relationship between Rowan and Fitz. And then for me, as Tony, to be, you know, helping Joe, you know, we're discussing with Joe about the possibilities in the way that he's doing some amazing scene, or like, you know.
But he also gets very excited.
Yeah.
Which is, he gets very excited. And so it's not just someone who's got great ideas and knows camera, and knows characters, and knows us, but it's wonderful to see somebody come and say, oh, that was great, but, you know, let's try this. And he's really excited about what we can try and accomplish in a particular scene. And that's just wonderful. It's just so helpful.
I will say one of my most fun moments watching Tony as a director was there are two very distinct, it used to be even more so, they're starting to meld a little bit, but there used to be two very distinct cultures in the White House set and in the Pope and Associates sets. And there were, in season 2, for example, there weren't a lot of people who crossed between both worlds. I was one of the few characters who kind of had a really full life in both worlds, and so I was very aware that the Pope and Associates set was like a crazy, raucous high school gym class, and
Junior high school.
high school.
True.
And the White House set is like, you know, a master's thesis meeting. And it's so serious and grown up. And so the first time that Tony directed us at Pope and Associates, I thought his head was going to spin. He was like, you can't, because you really can't get a word in. Like
They never stop talking.
We don't stop talking. Or laughing, or dancing.
Moving, or texting, or...
He would call action and nobody would hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first AD, I wanted him to just say action, and they'll stop talking. I was like, wait, so, you know, scream, and then they do. They're like, oh, right, you know.
And it's part of how we keep, you know, the energy at Pope and Associates has to be so intense, high stakes, speak fast, get it done. And so,
in one mind.
Yeah.
One mind.
So we play a lot in order to keep that energy, but it drives directors crazy.
Who's the most likely to break in a scene?
Scott.
What the hell?
Or fart.
Yeah.
He's a big fake farter.
He makes farting noises before every
Do the noise.
scene.
Do the noise. Come
guys.
on.
You do the noise. You do it better than I do now. Yeah.
We all do it now.
Yeah, we all do it now. Before
Do you
every
do that
scene.
before really?
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's a love scene, which is awkward. Which they're always awkward, but I mean, a crying scene or a dancing scene, or it doesn't matter. Always
It's true. I'm guilty.
These are the secrets. That
And
you
whenever
get
you're in an elevator.
Oh yeah, elevators are big. Yeah.
Especially if there are strangers in the elevator.
He just did it in the elevator.
Scott likes
Did it.
An hour ago.
whatever it is.
when we
No one
got
does
here.
it as well as him either. He's the best fake farter I've ever met.
Really?
Everything.
Oh, thanks, man.
I love your work.
And I, as a director, I trust you implicitly, so that means so much to me.
You've been a little character-like. I have the great pleasure of getting to know Guillermo, who's not really at all like Huck.
Oh, I know. Thank God. Yeah, right? He's so cute.
He's so cute and so kind. And always smiling.
Always.
So, and yet so happy to be pulling teeth and doing really horrific things. So how do you get into the headspace that is so different?
I feel like I'm so different from Huck that it's easy for me to kind of take risks and get lost in this character. It's like so far from who I am that it's easy to kind of put that skin on and play and just go for it. And
It's
take
really
risks.
not.
Yeah.
Because I think you would do that.
Because I feel like when I play
Season
characters,
5, people.
Putting on skin.
when you play a character that's closer to who
Jeffrey.
you are, it's kind of
Seriously.
it's a little bit more difficult. But
Is that a bullet in your ear?
yeah, they're bullet casings.
Bullet
the back
casings,
of bullet.
Huck is slowly
Here's an
finding his
example
way.
of that. Here's an example of how different Guillermo Diaz is from Huck. He got us all one season a red toolbox, like his torture, his red toolbox. And then you open it up, and inside was like candy. and like lavender essence oil for.
But then,
Yeah,
wait,
although-
we talk about the next year's Halloween present.
Oh, yeah.
Halloween is
It was
his
a dead
Christmas.
animal in a jar of formaldehyde.
A dead bat.
Baby
dead bat in a
bat.
jar of
We
formaldehyde.
didn't get that to the
Guillermo
beginning. I
is
got
a
like
fan.
candy, so it was all
He
good.
likes
Guillermo's a fan, a gigantic student lover of horror films.
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah. Everybody, you love them. You love them. So in each of us, I
wedding.
think,
It's horrible.
you know, I don't know, Shonda, but I think in each of us, Shonda
Yeah.
saw whatever little percentage.
Totally.
Because I'm not a strategic thinker. You know, I get lost. I get lost from the trailer to the makeup trailer, right? And
Call Jeff Mr. Magoo.
you know, I am not a manipulator, strategic thinker, this or that. But I think Cyrus's rage, you know. Shonda picks little parts of us that. Oh, you can play that.
Do you get angry? You get angry?
Yeah, Linda.
Where's your?
Linda might be in the
Linda, are you
house,
here?
but she.
Where's
years
Linda?
ago-
Linda.
Is she here?
She's covering her face.
Stand up! Stand up! Stand up!
Linda.
Linda's our casting director, by
Yeah,
the way.
if anybody's an actor here, marry a genius casting director. That's why I work.
Yep.
Linda has cast everything Shondaland since day one of Grey's Anatomy. But
Incredible.
years ago, long before this job, Linda invented a name for me, Mahatma Patton. And she said, 9 times out of 10, it's Gandhi, but 1 time out of 10, General George, you know, is in the living room and you want to get out of the way.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you because Guillermo, you were on GMA. I believe it was the next day. It was like the Friday after
Right,
you were
before that.
killed. And we all bought it hook, line, and sinker. You all did a terrific job. Did you how did Shonda approach that storyline to you? Did she tell you heads up? Did you think maybe you really were? How does it work?
No, we had the table read for the episode, and at the end of it, it said Jake gets stabbed, and no one really said anything to me. No one gave me weird looks.
So were you thinking I should go pack my trailer?
No, I thought people get stabbed. He's going to come back. It's not a big deal. And
Are you from the Bronx too?
can't you tell? And then no one's ever accused me of being from the Bronx before.
It wasn't an accusation, it was a
What?
compliment.
Absolutely.
Wow, yeah.
And we shot the scene, and he stabbed me once, and it was fine. There was blood everywhere, but I thought it was going to be okay. And then Shonda wrote another line for the character of Russell to say at the end of it. And so we had to go back and reshoot it. And while he was
So how
saying
long
the line-
is that process? So you shoot the scene, and then what, is she sitting furiously on the side?
No.
What does
It was.
look
I think after she had got all the footage, we were on to a different episode. After she had gotten all the footage, she saw something was missing, and she wrote an extra line for Russell. So we came in and we shot the ending again. And Brian White, who plays Russell, just kept stabbing me.
Bummer.
And it wasn't scripted, and I was looking around, like looking at the director, thinking maybe they're going to tell him to stop. I mean, I'm Jake.
Right. That's what I was saying.
What are you doing?
Chill out.
And there was actually a moment
Felt the same
where Debbie Allen, who was directing it, right? Child.
Hello?
Hello?
Where Debbie Allen, who was directing it, said more, and I thought, no, not more. And I sent Shonda an email saying, you know, I know you usually have conversations with people before they're not on your show. Is there anything you want to tell me? And she said, I already killed you on one show. It's not going to happen this time.
Oh.
Which was very sweet.
Aww.
But there was an ellipsis at the end of that. So I knew I wasn't going to die, but the way that it played out obviously looked like Jake was a goner.
Yeah, it was well done.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Yeah.
And it was like reading your own obituary the next week on Twitter, and it was not fun.
Yeah. We miss Katie.
Yes.
She's so terrific. Katie, your character, I almost called you Huck, I'm sorry. You know,
Do it,
I told
do
you,
it.
if I refer to them as their TV name, please understand, I'm in full, I mean, we're getting close, people. So Guillermo, let's talk about the relationship between yours and Katie's characters. It's weirdly cute for assassins.
Yeah, it's great. I get along with Katie so well, and we just have so much fun working together. She's actually off shooting a short film that
she's producing and
yeah.
starring in.
So she was
So we're
really sad
proud
that she
of
couldn't be
Katie.
here. And she loves you. She's always like, you gotta text Laura. Laura.
Or, yeah.
Say Laura.
No, it's actually Lara, because
Lara.
from Dr.
character
Shabbat.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but
character name is
Your character name.
Yes, my character name. So do you guys talk behind the scenes about, as you said, you know, Shonda, we now all know she is not afraid to kill
a brother.
Or a sister. So
Or a
do you,
sister.
do you guys, do you have, is there an odds maker on the set that talks about?
We don't dare.
No.
You don't?
No.
Do you hold your breath when you get those scripts? I would imagine it's, you never know.
We never.
Well, when
Melina
the Josh
used to read the last page of every.
Still do. I still do.
Just to see if his character
Shonda
is
likes
still
to
alive.
hear, and so she looks away a lot.
And after
And I have
that,
a technique where when you turn a page, I just grab like 40 of them. I know that within 5 minutes at the beginning.
but then
of
she
the read,
played
I know
that
the end
trick
of
on
every
Josh
There
at
was
the
a
end of our
trick,
second
that's
season
right.
because he does that.
He does it, and it makes her
it
so
irritated
angry.
her. So the end was it the
think
finale? I think
it was finale, yeah.
I can't remember that they gave Josh a special script at his table, knowing that every time he goes to the last page to see what
That's so
happens,
funny.
and
And it
it
was-
said David dies.
I turned to Scott. I turned to Scott and
being
said,
Josh
looks like I
Molina,
die in this.
He's a very clever fellow, so he had a momentary like, oh my God.
I had a bad
And
day
then he
with that.
immediately grabbed Bellamy's script, looked at the end, and was like,
I had a rough
My
minute and a
favorite
half.
part, though, is
We
in
were so
between, he turned to
disappointed.
Scott and he was like, man, I think I'm going to die. And Scott says, that's rough.
We were in on it. I mean, Shonda had told me she was doing it. So, yeah.
It's cruel.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
now you know. So is it, you told me something today I thought was fascinating, that Shonda, if she comes up with an idea for a scene, that really her last rewrite is really the final edit.
Yes.
And that she will take pieces shot from another episode even and make them work to create a scene that you never even imagined.
Like this finale
We don't know what this finale
had
is.
24 minutes that cannot fit into the 42 or 3 that we use on the air. So she has all possibilities and she reshapes, but even she's brought, my favorite thing is when you were punching, sorry, that wasn't my favorite, that part wasn't.
What's that about?
But when we thought that he killed little Jerry and you were punching him, and it wasn't in the script, but every time you would hit Jake, he would like bounce to like his happy place in his mind. And Shonda was like, do we still have footage from the island? Let's use that. But she's really discovered the editing room this year, and it just keeps evolving for her. Like it's never like, well, we shot it and I wrote it and this is what's happening.
And Shonda's in the editing room. She's
Oh yeah,
not-
till like
Does
5
someone
a.m.
let her know that she should get out of the editing room?
Right?
It's
Yeah.
We're done.
But she just lets it evolve. And we go back and we reshoot things. She'll add a sentence. One day
also
we
a
reshot
genius.
something to add him overhearing
She's a
it.
genius in so many ways, but the way she edits is so incredible.
Oh, gosh.
She has she doesn't even like go to the editing room. And on her desk is a computer monitor, which has a direct feed to each editor's, So the editor, she'll go,
Wow.
I want to see the scene from blah, 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 send me that scene. And they'll put it up on her thing, and she'll watch something, and then she calls like Matt or one of our writers, okay, so take this scene and put it there, and then on this moment, change that and move this, and it's like she'll just hold the whole thing in her head.
And then Katie
while
will
she's
have to
like
go to
on the phone
ADR.
and someone's in a meeting in her office, and she's in 2 seconds, she'll go, do this, cut this, and put 30 seconds there, and the editor's like, okay. And then she's like, good, I'll come down in a minute, then send it back when you're done. She has this encyclopedia. It's incredible to see her do it.
And one of the reasons that this is possible, most television scripts usually don't go beyond 54 pages. Our scripts are usually anywhere between 60 and 75 pages.
80.
So, 80 pages.
Funny.
So by the time you finish that episode, she has lots of material that she can put in a vault somewhere. And just as he said, call it up when she wants it. She's like, when we did this, we can use all these different scenes in all these different ways. So she has a treasure trove of material to use.
And Katie's done ADRs when you go like after in post-production and you either have to match a performance, you say the lines so the sound matches, or if the scene isn't about you, then it can be voiceover. Katie's gone in 20 out of 22 episodes and changed story through voiceover. So it's incredibly, it's an incredibly
Because
like
she
malleable
explains what happens with
experience.
the clients. So what happens with the clients will change on the board to be able to.
It's incredible to me. I swear, it blows my mind.
I'd love to know, I hope you would too, from start to finish, what does it look like to get the script to the time that it's done? Can you take me through that process?
It looks like this.
And then,
That's exactly what it looks
What do you
like.
mean?
So,
And
so
by
the
the
first thing is the table read, right?
The table read, but then by the time it's done is we're watching it with the rest of everybody else.
And
that's when it
You mean,
feels
is
like
it
it
what
is.
happens?
That's
We sit at the table,
and you're
we
reading
read
it in character?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're asking
cold.
questions?
We've never
No.
seen it
No.
before.
We
You're
don't
not
ask
allowed to
questions.
ask questions.
Well,
So you just have to read the
Privately
lines.
emails to Shonda quietly afterwards.
Okay.
Do you have her email address?
Usually,
Bam. About time.
Good.
and we start shooting usually the next day, sometimes that same day.
Yeah.
So we have to go cram, and then we shoot for about 10 days.
So what does that look like? A table read is in the morning, and then you
No,
go
a table
home
read
and-
is during lunch break. So the
Okay.
day of the table read, you don't have a lunch. When you're done shooting in the morning, or if you're not shooting,
You're
that
working
day,
on
you
the
just
previous
come in.
episode. Okay.
You're working on the previous episode. You at your lunch, everybody meets up. We read the episode, then we go back to work, finishing up the other.
So the study
episode.
time is at night when you get
Exactly.
home.
Yeah,
whenever
or
you're
in the hair and makeup chair.
the-
We run
Because
lines a lot in the hair and makeup trailer.
after the table read, a production draft goes out late that night.
Because they make
They
changes.
write based on what
rewrite
they learn in the table read.
Or
Okay,
the
so
next
you can
day.
expect big changes based
Big.
on what we're all
Yeah.
learning.
Big
So it's like we've memorized it, but we're probably re-memorizing.
And often they'll write, Shonda and the team will write throughout the shooting.
Right.
She'll get ideas, or she'll see something in the cutting room that she wants to change, and so you'll get the night before, midway through a shoot, suddenly, an episode or two ago, at 9:30 at night, like a 2-page monologue appeared in my email. I was like, oh my God.
The three of
At
us
6
walked to
a.m.
rehearsal one night and got handed a new scene at rehearsal. We were
And
like,
Lara, we'll literally ask, is it safe to memorize? Are new pages coming tonight?
Yeah.
Or is what we're shooting tomorrow morning, am I safe to memorize?
Has anybody ever been
No.
out socially and missed
No.
pages?
No.
no.
Oh, yeah.
Rights?
Really?
Have you?
Well, you've shown up. I've shown up to a scene rehearsal where you go, oh shit, I've got yesterday's version.
Oh,
Got
that's
yellow.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
That double green.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes, luckily never with a big thing. Usually
Getting
it's like a
nervous
line or
talking
two,
about
like,
it.
oh, I missed
I'm
that.
like,
So that does happen, yeah.
Although Kerry and I had a scene where I got up they were going to pick me up at 6. I got up at 5, and I just thought, let me just look at my computer just to see. And I opened my computer, and I had not only the monologue I was going to be doing, but an additional page and a half.
Oh, that was the one I directed, that incredible scene when she almost shot him.
No,
A different one.
No,
Different one.
There's a different scene.
different 3-page monologue.
and the scripts, every iteration is a different color. So by the end, you have this like beautiful rainbow of a script. So you can always tell, you're like, oh no, my God, are your pages blue? I don't have the blue page.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like horrifying. But so, and by the end, you might, 3 episodes later, get a call and say, you're reshooting a scene from 4/17 tomorrow. It's airing on Thursday, but we think you can make it in the edit. It's not done until we watch it with you guys. And
So
it's
by
always
the
different.
time that
Always
we
different.
all,
different.
so by the time that we all watch it, we're all surprised.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about their rewrites. And
That's, I'll be
I was too
surprised
busy.
tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all going to be surprised.
Right.
Tonight.
Yes.
We did get an
hope
email
we
though.
make it out
Shonda
alive.
Yeah, what did she say?
emailed us and said,
Did you get the
heads
email?
up, I'm changing a couple things. Everybody but you.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I'm sorry. But you know,
Bless you.
it's so fantastic for us because it's like, you know, we get a little bit of that excitement too, all the way to the end.
Yeah, we love that you tweet, you guys. I think you guys probably all
love
do too.
tweeting.
We love tweeting.
Really fun.
So fun.
Is it fun for you to get direct feedback from your from the
Incredible.
fans?
Well, it's the closest to theater that you can get if you're on screen, right? I mean, if you're in a theater piece, obviously there's a direct response from the audience. In this case, it's almost the same. The scene plays on television. Somebody in the audience responds to it on Twitter. We get to respond back. Sometimes we don't get to watch the show that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the closest you get to theater, and it's wonderful.
And you develop a relationship with your Twitter friends.
You do.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot of them now.
There's
A lot of these
also,
writers,
like,
but-
in the world of Jimmy Kimmel, there's also the world of mean tweets. How do you guys feel about that when you get, like, I hate you, I hate
I
your
just
character?
retweet it all. Bring it. Love it.
Well, it's kind of funny because, you know, you'll start to recognize this voice and then it's week after week after week. I'm done. I've had it. The show sucks this year. You know,
It's the same person.
Yeah, it's the same person. And I'm kind of like, wait, you seem to be here every Thursday.
Yep. I mean, as a fan, I have to say that the tweeting for me takes me out of watching these guys do their incredible work because I'm kind of checking the feed. And I mean, it's a little bit frenetic and frantic because, you know, I love being a part of the show, but I also miss watching the show. Like, I really miss it. So, you know, I try to watch it twice.
Don't say that out loud once.
Seriously.
You know, Shonda.
Oh, you want to watch the show again?
Can we just cut that bit out?
I know. Edit.
We used to have a
Rewind,
great tradition where we would all get together because early on the episodes got done in enough time, like a week ahead of time, where we would all go to Jeff's house and
No good
watch
way to
them
say
together
that.
on a Sunday afternoon and have a party and like all watch and enjoy just what Portia's saying. You know, watching each other's work was so much fun and
Yeah.
to do a lot together. But as the pressure of the show is built up and you know, the deadlines of the shows are literally not done until often hours before they air. So we now don't really get to see them until we're live tweeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you try and do like an interview and you're like, is that still it? Like you have no idea. You don't know if you should talk about it.
But see, Lara, I just watch them twice, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Good save. Good save.
You know, I watch the
Wait,
East
did you
Coast
get that?
feed.
She watched the
I know,
feed.
and then the West Coast feed. Ellen and I,
let me say this
popcorn
very
wine,
clearly.
we're good.
Mellie needs Lizzie.
Agreed.
There's a really great
I love my
relationship
Lizzie.
there.
Love
so-
my Mellie.
I love my Lizzie.
Yeah.
I do. It's been great.
Hey,
I like having
congratulations
Portia
to you
come
on
on.
your album.
Thanks.
Does Bellamy sing on the set?
No, I don't really.
No, never.
Please? Well, you guys always have the best music, too.
Yeah.
You don't hear any
But
of that. That all
Bellamy,
happens in
aren't you
post,
supposed
right?
to be here in New York on Sunday?
I am. Thanks, Darbs. I am. I'm at 54 Below on Sunday if you want.
Bellamy's mom is in the audience, and
She
she's
is.
very
She's over
proud.
outside Linda. Hey, there's my mother.
How
Thank you, Jane.
Look at that, lights up for you.
I know.
You guys are
do you
hot.
guys want to open it up to? Do you mind it with everybody?
Yeah.
Yes, the audience.
Just make sure that you loud and clear for everybody.
How do we?
So the microphone. Do you want to handle that, or do you want me to, or?
I'll take care of that.
You're adorable.
Oh, I'll point. Okay, why don't we just start down in front? We'll work our way. And you guys can pick too.
Oh, he was in front.
What's happening?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Kimmy. I run characters.
Oh, you're a character.
Oh, good. Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. Hi. Okay, so
See, that's the magic of Twitter.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
This woman runs this incredible Twitter feed that is much better at me at telling people what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's characters like K-E-R, character.
K-E-R-R.
Very cool. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm shaking. It's okay. we do Summer Gladiators every year.
Yeah.
Every summer. So we also want to thank you so much for all your support for that. A lot of your characters are vastly different today than they were in the pilot. Do you think there's still any of your character from the pilot in your today character?
Great question.
Terrific question.
Those characters, they have the best questions.
I feel like definitely Mellie's always wanted to be in the moment she's in. Like there was always like a kernel of that, like the little sand inside the pearl. So I feel for sure she's still trying to like get his attention again. But I think so.
I think Quinn was, I mean, I wish Katie was here because I think she would answer this the best. Because for me, as a fan, I mean, seeing her transformation.
Interesting.
She's talked in, Katie, wherever you are, I don't want to speak for you, but I've heard Katie say that she feels closer to the Quinn in the pilot than she does to the Quinn now, that it's harder to play this character, but she loves the challenge of it.
Yeah.
She likes the hair better too now.
The hair.
True.
And the clothes, probably.
The clothes are amazing. Yeah.
Who else?
Another question? How about right here?
Thank you. Hi, I'm curious for Carrie and Bellamy and Guillermo. Do you guys post your own Instagrams, or do you have fancy pants people who do it for you?
You must know from the level, the low, like the truly remedial level, that I am doing all of my own bits and pieces.
I do most of my Instagram, but there's been a lot of talk about this special like video collage that I have on my Instagram, and Allison Peters does that. She won't even tell me what app that is. So she does those like cool movies, but otherwise everything else is me.
But it says KW Crew, right?
Yeah, she signs it KW Crew, so you know it wasn't me.
How about you, Guillermo?
I like to be
And you must know from
transparent.
all the Madonna pictures that it's me.
Right here?
Thanks. I'm not going to stand up because it's a little close right here. But hi.
Hi.
My name's Alicia, and I'm actually a civil rights attorney. And so I'm always very excited to see directors and writers and actresses and those in the music and entertainment business as a whole, kind of acknowledge the issues that are going on, particularly now when things are very transparent through the use of media. And I'm sure a lot of people can join me in saying that at the end of the quote-unquote Ferguson episode, I was in tears, especially considering everything that's going on recently. When you read the script for the first time and when you acted it out, how did you feel about it? Like, as an African-American woman, how did that make you feel?
I feel like in the beginning of the show, we were careful to tread very lightly around issues of race because I think it was important for everyone, or important for Shonda, that race be one element, one part of who Olivia is. And it's not something that I could walk away from as soon as I'm on screen. I'm a black woman. But she felt, I don't know how she felt, but there wasn't a lot of talk about race. There were these small moments, like me referring to myself as Sally Hemings, or that great, great moment where we walked into the house and one of our clients and Lisa Edelstein immediately assumed that Darby's character, Abby, was Olivia Pope because she was the white woman in the group. Those moments were really special to me, and I held them very close. But I knew that we weren't going to traffic a lot in racial politics because the show was for everyone, and we didn't want to push that as what the show was about or who this woman was. And so for me, I felt like the Ferguson episode was a real coming of age for the show and for Olivia, because it was a moment where another character called Olivia on her racial politics. And we watched Olivia go from the position she normally holds, which is working for the people in power, to crossing that picket line and working with the protesters, and a lot because of her racial politics and her empathy that came from her understanding as a woman of color. I mean, one of my other favorite moments is that when Joe Morton's character said to me, we always have to be twice as good to get, I mean, that's and I can't tell you how many people have said to me, that line is so great, and I heard it in something else recently, and I thought that was so funny, and I was like, no, that's because that's what all black people say to their kids. Like, that's not not unique. That is what every responsible black parent says to their child. And what a lot of fathers of daughters say to women, because it's very similar. So anyway, I was very proud to be a part of that moment on the show because I thought it was a courageous sort of coming of age moment. And I thought it was actually, I think it's a coming of age moment for us as a culture because in the beginning, I think part of the being careful about race was, will the world accept the lead on a show being a black woman? Well, it turns out that people let Olivia Pope into their hearts and homes. And now people are also letting Viola Davis into their hearts and homes. And people are letting Taraji P. Henson into their hearts and homes. And so I think part of it was like, okay, well now that this is all good and we just know that this is part of the reality of television is inclusivity is the norm, now let's talk about some stuff. So I thought that was really exciting for Shonda.
In the way back.
As a follow-up to the information, I feel like there's been a lot of talk about Scandal as this groundbreaking, revolutionary series because you, Kerry Washington,
Hi, sorry. You're like the most talented actress ever, but you are, as a black woman, you're the first, I think, to lead a show like this. And so do you feel like that makes the show Scandal more about race and leads it into this whole example for the civil rights movement and more about race?
No, I think what happened was that was what people wanted to talk about at the time when we first aired 4 or 5 years ago because it was so unique. But I think the show is so special and all of these actors are so tremendously talented that it was so obvious very quickly that this was not a show about that this was a show about really complicated people that were diverse in all kinds of ways, racially, ethnically, age, sexual orientation, whether they murder people or not. So I think that's kind of what was great about what we did was that's why in the beginning we didn't let race be the issue because we were like, no, we're not going to be limited to that. We're going to be about people.
But I think too, it's always been nice, like, because that Shondaland has always just been a land of hearts and minds and souls, not, envelopes that they're all wrapped in. And so it's always felt progressive and it's always felt like it's moved the game forward, but without making a meal of moving the game forward, which is appropriate a lot of the time. But I just think she does it de facto. She wants everyone to be able to see themselves on TV and they should be able to do that. And she just writes everybody.
Right there.
Thank you. First of all, this is a real treat to be here tonight, and I want to thank you for coming out and giving of yourselves. You guys seem like you're getting along great. And also, Lara, it's great to see you also.
Oh, thank you.
I actually have 2 quick questions. The first one is, why is it that every time there's a crisis, no matter what it is, between 1 or 2 people or a country and other people, you're always having a drink? Does this much...
That's
real
how I
life.
like my character.
Wondering if this helps you make a decision, or this is really what goes on in the White House, and that's why we are where we are today. Just a joke. Okay.
Just a joke.
And my next question is to Kerry, but really all of you can answer this. What image do you think that Shonda would want you to be portrayed as, being a woman of power, but yet succumbed by so many weaknesses with your romantic interludes? And what does it take for the rest of you cast members to give in and have so many of your several weekend moments of romantic interludes as well?
Go ahead, Joe.
Harvey.
Thank you.
I think, first of all, the humanity is nothing but flaws. That's number one. I think what Kerry said earlier about what Olivia needs in terms of understanding what a healthy relationship with men might be has all to do with her very dysfunctional relationship with her father and her mother. So that I think that's part of what, again, what's part of the fabric of this show. The show is not about perfect human beings. Yes, we have a president who, when he gets the blues, if you will, he picks up a scotch. We have a woman of great power who, when she can't figure it out, has popcorn and wine. When I get upset, I just kill people.
What about Rowan?
Isn't he like the most...
Regular folks.
Just regular folks.
Love it. Yeah, I promised you right there.
Hi, how are you? This is a question for the whole cast to learn more about you guys. What's on top of your list to accomplish right now, either professionally or personally, and why? It's for everyone.
You want to start?
Nope.
Our list of things we want to accomplish?
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, I'd have to repeat that. It's like, man, the present is full and beautiful.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I want to be in a big movie.
I don't make them anymore.
My guy. How about one more right there?
In about an hour and 15
Yeah.
finale starts. Will you all be congregating someplace to tweet live?
Yes, but we can't tell you where.
But we will. We'll be together.
Are you going to be there?
We'll be together like this.
I'm trying to head home, and
All right.
the DVR will be going, so I can just hit it as soon as.
Nice.
Oh, no, you're going to really watch it with us.
You guys, we have time for last question, okay? How about right here?
Hi, I just want to thank all of you for coming. This is awesome. There are lots
You
of,
for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys all for coming.
there are lots of shows about politics on TV, on Netflix. Are there any other characters from these shows that you think would seamlessly fit into your show?
Oh, that's a great question.
I think
Frank Underwood.
Michael
Yes.
I don't know about Frank.
I don't know.
I think Michael Murphy's character from House of Cards. You know,
Yeah.
his chief of staff.
Yeah, yeah,
Frank's
yeah.
chief of staff.
Yeah.
I think he'd be amazing on Scandal.
We used to gigglingly call, as a nickname, call Carrie Khaleesi, and I had a dream one night that happened.
That Khaleesi was on our show.
Totally, I
You think
totally did.
you call Game of that's a political show?
It
It's
is.
another political show.
Yeah.
Seven Kingdoms.
Yes, right.
Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Take it.
You know, it sounds strange, but I love the Veep cast
I was
so
going to say
much.
that.
That
Hale
even
on
though
the show.
and they have
so
such
awesome.
chops, I think they could just do it. They could do any of this.
Can you imagine?
You want to do one more?
Tony Hale.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Or Gary Cole would be a perfect person.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And a
Right. Okay.
I loved in the last episode when you came into OPA and were with Olivia and Quinn again. I was wondering if you wish you had more scenes with Katie and Carrie. Sorry.
I do. I don't feel like I've had less scenes with Carrie this year. Feels like Olivia and Abby their friendship is continuing to evolve. But you know what I said earlier this season? Once a gladiator, always a gladiator. So, yes, on that note,
everybody, they all are very excited, as we are, to watch the show. So can we give them all the cast? Please stay, because a very special treat that Shonda and the team are giving you, a very special and not small sneak peek at tonight's episode. So if you want to stay, please do. I highly recommend it. And thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.